daily life, and especially when we're hanging out in NRG Kids. So we're going to start off today by singing a song. We did this song last week, so I reckon you guys know it. We have my dad who's going to join us today. And
yeah, everybody's really worried.
It's the Lord's Army song.
It's, a little violent.
It's okay. Okay, so I may never
march in the infantry, ride in the cavalry, shoot the artillery. I may never zoom in the land and sea, ride in the Lord's army. Yes, sir. I'm in the Lord's army. Yes, sir. I'm in the Lord's army. Yes, sir. I'm too young to march in the infantry, ride in the cavalry, shoot the artillery. I'm too young to zoom over the land and sea, but I'm in the Lord's army. Yes, sir. I need to Google the proper words.
I'm in the Lord's army.
Yes, sir. I'm in the Lord's army. Yes, sir. I'm too old to march. I don't really identify with these words at all. Ride in the cavalry, shoot the artillery. I'm too old to zoom on the enemy, but I'm in the Lord's army. Yes, sir. Nice to see all the kids getting involved.
Yeah, good job.
For those who are watching on YouTube, we've got the Zoom link going for all the kids, and so we do it both.
Yeah. So Kate's going to read our story now.
I'll get out of here.
Yeah. So the story is Jonah. So I hope you can see it, but there you go. Hello there. I always try my hardest no matter what I'm doing. But sometimes no matter how hard I try, I seem to mess things up just a little bit. The other day I was painting the sets for our next show when the skateboard I was standing on flew out from under me. I spilled a whole bucket of blue paint right on Bob's head. He was really mad. I told him I could fix it, but he just told me there would be no second chances for me. I told him it was time to read the story of Jonah. Jonah was a prophet of God. That meant that he was one of the very special people that God used to deliver messages. One night, Jonah got a message from God that was supposed to be delivered to the biggest, meanest city around Nineveh. The people of Nineveh were known for lying, cheating, and slapping each other with fish. They were so mean that Jonah and all the people of Israel wished that God would just wipe Nineveh off the face of the earth. Jonah didn't want to go to Nineveh. The next day, Jonah hopped on board a ship headed in the opposite direction. The ship belonged to those lazy scallywags, the pirates who don't do anything. As the four new friends were sailing along, the sky got dark and the wind began to blow. Crash went the thunder, flash went the lightning, splash went the waves. This is a storm like I've never seen before, yelled Captain Grape. Somebody up there must be really upset with somebody down here. That somebody was Jonah, because he had ignored God's directions. To get the storm to stop, the pirates made Jonah walk the plank. Splash into the water he went. As soon as Jonah hit the water, the storm cleared and the sun came back out. The pirates tried to pull Jonah back into the boat, but before they could, gulp, Jonah was swallowed by a huge fish. Jonah sat alone inside the whale. He was sure that he was going to die. Suddenly, a bunch of angels appeared. Jonah, the angel, said, "We've got a message for you. If you say you're sorry for all the stuff you do," the angel sang, you know God will be ready with a second chance for you. The angels reminded Jonah of God's great mercy. So from inside the whale, Jonah prayed and he told God he was sorry and asked him for a second chance. But 3 days later, the big fish 3 days later, the big fish spit Jonah out. Jonah had been given a second chance. So he headed straight to Nineveh to tell them about God's love. When he reached the gates of the city, the guards refused to let him in. "You're a stranger," they said. We don't like strangers." Jonah started to turn around and go home. When he heard a familiar voice, "Jonah, is that you?" It was Pirate Larry and the two lazy pirate friends. So the pirates, who don't do anything, let Jonah into the city of Nineveh to deliver his message. "Stop it," he said to the king of Nineveh. "Stop cheating, stop lying, and especially stop slapping each other with fishes, or this entire city will be destroyed." A message from the Lord. The king was very upset. No one told him they weren't supposed to do that stuff. The king made a decree for his people to stop what they were doing. God showed the people of Nineveh compassion and mercy. He gave them all a second chance. The Bible story. And so, boys and girls, I hope that you see how important it is to give everyone a second chance. The fish slappers were sure happy they got a second chance. You can read the real story of Jonah in the Bible. So you can find this story in Jonah 1-4. So you can get your parents to read that to you. So, about that paint thing, I've got some good news and some really good news. First, Bob showed me compassion and mercy. He realized that I didn't spill the paint on him on purpose, and he said he would give me a second chance. And really, blue looks pretty good on a red tomato anyway. Don't you think? But wait, there's more. The best news of all is that God is a God of second chances, and all you have to do is to get a second chance when God is asked. Because God made you special and He loves you very much. And the verse for today from the book, and the one we're going to focus on, is "Be kind and tender to one another. Forgive each other just as God forgave you because of what Christ has done." And this is found in Ephesians 4 verses 32. So I'll just read it one more time and then we'll go into another song. So it says, "Be kind and tender to one another. Forgive each other just as God forgave you because of what Christ has done." Ephesians 4 verses 32.
Cool. Thank you, Kate. So now we're going to do a song that we did a while ago on Mother's Day when me and Kate were leading before. And Dad's going to come back into this one. And it's "He's got the whole world in his hands." He's got the whole world
in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands.
He's got the itty bitty baby
in his hands.
He's got itty
Bitty baby in his hands. And Paul and Manisha's twins too.
baby.
In his hands, he's got the whole world in his hands.
He's got you and me, brother.
In his hands, he's got you and me, brother. In his hands, he's got you and me, brother. In his hands, he's got the whole world in his hands.
He's got you and me,
sister. In his hands, he's got you and me, sister. In his hands, he's got you and me, sister. In his hands, he's got the whole world in his hands.
He's got the
whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands.
Good job. I reckon we're going to do that one again.
When?
Now.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, ready? He's got the
whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the little bitty baby in his hands. He's got the little bitty baby in his hands. He's got the little bitty baby. In his hands, he's got the whole world in his hands. He's got you and me, brother. In his hands, he's got you and me, brother. In his hands, he's got you and me, brother. In his hands, he's got the whole world in his hands. He's got you and me, sister. In his hands, he's got you and me, sister. In his hands, he's got you and me, sister. In his hands, he's got the whole world in his hands. Is there any signs for brother and sister?
He's got the whole world.
In his hands, he's got the whole world. In his hands, he's got the whole world. In his hands, he's got the whole world in his hands.
Good job. I've seen lots of you guys doing the actions. Good job. Okay, so I'm going to pray now. So if we close our eyes and bow our heads. Dear God, thank you for always being there for us and loving us. And help us to do what you want us to do, even when we really don't want to, because we all know that you have our best interest at heart. And I just pray that you go with all of us throughout this week, and that we can all remember that we can go to you whenever we have any troubles or anything good that happens, and that we can always come and pray to you. Amen. Okay, so now we're going to say goodbye to all of you guys on YouTube. Bye. And then we're going to talk to some of you guys on Zoom. Bye.